Can you pay rent with a credit card? For many renters, their monthly rent payment is the biggest recurring expense. If you have a rewards credit card or are struggling to keep up with your basic needs, you may wonder if you can use your credit card to pay your landlord. While it's technically possible to pay rent with a credit card, it's important to understand the potential pitfalls and the right way to do it. Here's what you need to know. Now guys, I'm going to break down all of the details for you in this video, but in case you're new around here, my name is Nima and welcome to the channel. I'm a corporate executive with over 15 years of experience in both sales and finance. My videos break down complex financial concepts to help you on your financial journey, whether you're just starting out or if you're already a seasoned pro. So guys, let's jump into today's topic, which is, can you pay your rent with a credit card? So, the simple answer is yes, it's possible to pay your rent with a credit card. You may have a few different options depending on your situation, however. The first option is pay your landlord or your property manager directly. Some landlords and property managers use a payment system that allows tenants to pay with a credit card. Unfortunately, many of these services charge a convenience fee, which typically ranges anywhere from 2 to 3% of the payment amount, but it could be even higher than that. And that said, even if you have a 2% cashback credit card like the Citi Double Cash Card or the Wells Fargo Active Cash Card, you likely won't earn enough in rewards to make that extra charge worth it. Some payment services may offer fee-free rent payments with a credit card, but they are rare. The second option I'll give you is to use the Bilt MasterCard. The Bilt MasterCard issued by Wells Fargo is the only credit card currently available that allows you to pay rent to any landlord without a fee. You'll earn 1 point per dollar on up to $100,000 in rent payments each year. Simply download the Bilt app and add your landlord's information before submitting your payment. Even if your landlord only accepts checks, Bilt will send them a check in the mail. You'll also earn 3 points per dollar on dining, 2 points per dollar on travel, and 1 point per dollar on all other purchases, with rewards doubled on the first day of each month. Just note, guys, that you must use the card at least 5 times per statement period to earn points, and the card has no annual fee. The next option I'll give you is to use a cash advance. Most credit cards allow you to take out a cash advance, typically through an ATM or a bank teller, and you can use that cash to pay the rent. However, cash advances usually come with much higher interest rates than normal purchases. Interest starts accruing immediately, meaning there's no grace period. And on top of all of that, you'll likely pay an upfront fee of 3% to 5% or more. In most cases, cash advances are one of the worst ways to pay rent, and typically it should be avoided. So I give this feedback to you guys with a grain of salt. I'm just letting you know your options, but choose carefully. The next option is use a balance transfer check. Some credit cards like the Wells Fargo Reflect card or the Citi Simplicity card offer balance transfer promotions that allow you to move debt with little or no interest. Even if you don't open a new card, your current card issuer may send you balance transfer checks that you can use for your rent. These checks may come with a low or even 0% APR, but they often include a balance transfer fee of 3% to sometimes even 5%. Some banks deposit the funds directly into your checking account instead of issuing the checks. While this can help short-term cash flow, fees can still make this option kind of expensive. The next option I can recommend is using a third-party service. Third-party services like RentTrack or PlacePay, PayPal, Venmo, and Zelle may allow you to use a credit card to pay your rent. However, these platforms typically charge a transaction fee of around 3%. And because of that, you usually won't earn enough rewards to justify the extra cost. This option is convenient, but not financially efficient for most renters. But guys, before I dive into more of the details of using your credit card for rent, if you're gaining value from this video, I'd really appreciate it if you could smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe. Your support helps this channel grow. So please show some love by smashing that like button, commenting down below, and subscribing. All right, now let's discuss the next segment, and that is when paying rent with a credit card actually makes sense. So, paying rent with a credit card can make sense in very specific situations. If you're earning rewards that clearly outweigh the fees, that's one scenario where it can work. Another is when you're trying to hit a welcome bonus on a new credit card. Some cards offer hundreds of dollars in bonuses if you spend a certain amount within the first few months. Using rent strategically, just once or twice, can help you hit that requirement without overspending. The next note to mention on my list is why fees are the biggest thing to watch out for. Guys, fees are the number one reason that people are losing money paying rent with a credit card. A 3% fee on $2,000 rent is $60 every month. Over a year, that's $720 just gone. Most credit cards don't give enough rewards high enough to cover that cost. So guys, always do the math first before charging rent to your credit card. The next note I want to mention on my list as well is how paying rent can actually hurt your credit if you're not careful. Using a credit card for rent can hurt your credit if it pushes your balance too high. High balances increase your credit utilization, which can actively lower your score. If you don't pay the balance off in full, interest can add up very quickly. Credit cards usually have a much higher interest rate than other types of debt. Only charge rent if you know that you can pay it off on time. If you're struggling to pay rent, using a credit card should be a last resort. It may help temporarily, but it can create bigger financial stress later. Talking to your landlord about a payment plan or extension is often a better move. You can also look into rental assistance programs or local nonprofit resources. Avoid turning a short-term problem into long-term debt. The next thing I want to note on my list is how to think about rent like a financial tool. Rent is one of your biggest expenses, so it helps to think strategically about it. Whether your goal is earning rewards, building credit, staying afloat, every option has trade-offs. The goal isn't to be fancy, it's to be intentional. If a method helps you long-term without costing you extra, then it can make sense. But if it adds fees or stress to your life, it's probably not worth it. The next thing I'll note on my list is, does paying rent build credit? Historically speaking, rent payments haven't appeared on credit reports because there's no traditional credit relationship like a mortgage. However, the credit bureaus have long had the ability to include rent payments. The main reason this isn't standard practice is that many landlords choose not to report them. According to a 2022 TransUnion survey, only 27% of property managers who know they can report rent payments actually do it. So please guys, keep that in mind. The next thing to note on my list is how to get credit for your rent payments. If your landlord doesn't report rent, some services can help. In December of 2023, Self Financial announced that it would begin reporting rent payments to all 3 credit bureaus at no cost. You can always add up to 2 years of past rent payments for a one-time fee. Experian Boost is another free option, but it only impacts your Experian credit report. Other services exist, though some charge monthly fees or only report to 1 or 2 bureaus. Finally, always read the fine print and understand exactly how rent payments are processed. Some payments code as purchases, while others count as cash advances, which is much worse. Make sure that you know your fees, your interest rates, and reporting behavior before using your card. One small mistake can cost you more than you expect. Being informed puts you in control of your money instead of reacting to it. The bottom line is, if your landlord accepts fee-free credit card payments, paying rent with a card can be a smart way to earn rewards or build credit. In most cases though, fees make it not worth it. The Built MasterCard, I think, is the best option for fee-free rent payments so long as you're using it correctly. No matter how you pay rent, making sure it helps your financial future is what really matters. Guys, if this video helped you understand your options, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below with your questions. Let me know if you want more videos breaking down credit cards, rent, or building credit the smart way. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.